So I'm at MegaconLive, joined with the one, the only, Paul McGann. As a fellow Scouser, I just want to say hello. Are you enjoying your weekend?
Yeah, I am actually. Yeah, no, this is a good one. I'm quite. This is a show I've done before, and I know it's a friendly one. So, friendly meaning it's got a good spirit. You can hold a conversation, and the fans like it because we get a little bit of time to spend with one another. And unlike some I could mention,
Not to mention it again, but you're all from Liverpool. I just want to know. We don't get. Obviously, we've got Stephen Graham doing really well right now, but I feel like you're one of the first major actors to sort of break through for a good numerous couple of years into media and into television. Why do you think that was?
why should we broke through? For the usual reasons. I mean, we just got lucky and got in. But there was Scousers before us. Some of them. Weirdly, think of Rex Harrison, Tom Baker. Tom Baker. Like some of them you wouldn't sort of immediately associate. They don't make anything of it, and they don't have a Scouse accent, so certainly not when they work. So you might not know it. But we're not the first. We are standing on the shoulders of giants.
That is true.
It's true.
And we're a very witty bunch. We are in Birmingham right now. I just want to know what's been your best fan story today, because I know you do get to interact a lot more at these type of events.
I like it when like a little kid will come up and say,
"That's amazing."
You see it?
Yeah.
They do a drawing, and it means the world. You know what I mean? Like, I've drawn you. Look at that. Can you see? This is me. Look. And it's the spit. Look at me cheesy grin. Can you see it?
It's uncanny.
Like that. So they make pictures or give you stuff, product placement. I quite like all
You'll
that.
accept any endorsement deals for biscuits.
Exactly right. The jelly babies, obviously. But because these shows are for them. It's not. I mean, for us, I know it's like. Choose to come and it's work of a sort.
Does it feel like work?
No, not the way I do it.
No, it's like that for me when people go, does it feel like work to chat to people? It's like,
it's work in the sense that you've got to put the hours in and when you're here, you're on. You mean you're definitely on. And they take you over to a stage and you do a talk and you're going to have your picture taken and sometimes if it's over a whole weekend. In a way, they're kind of uniquely knackering as well. And when it's gone quiet for this little bit, but when it goes at full pelt, it does get a little bit
overwhelming.
What is it like? How can I best describe it? It's like you're kind of bombarded with affection and energy, and they get a bit nervous and. So you've got to try and entertain them and be nice to them and everything else. And sometimes I go back to the hotel or wherever they put you, and you put your head on the pillow at night and I can see faces and like camera flashes. And now I'm making it sound probably more than it is, but there's a kind of weird, lovely energy to it. These are fan shows, is what they are.
Conscientious responsibility.
Well, that's like that. So you got to be nice.
Cracking out the big words behind the camera now, isn't it?
Because chiefly I'm here because it's Doctor Who, so that's sci-fi, and that's not like being in. Not like Stephen Graham might not understand if he doesn't do sci-fi. There's an expectation I think that goes with the sci-fi thing.
I feel like
they get a little bit nervous and I played the Doctor in Doctor Who, so. Sometimes they come and they get to the table and they can't speak. They're standing there like that. So you've got to do the talking for them. And which I quite enjoy. I quite like all that. But there's a kind of real remove. And of course, it's not you. You're not. I'm Paul. I'm not So there's a kind of weird responsibility.
Especially with the younger one, because they see you in that role and they see you are the Doctor.
But then sometimes, after a minute, they're made up because, there you are. You're being really nice and.
I want to come on to the role. Obviously, you were the Doctor. Loads of great photos of you here. Tell me how that role came about for you. Like, how was it? Because obviously it was in the period that they were trying to reboot Doctor Who in the 90s.
5-6 years before I auditioned. Loads of us auditioned for it. Then I got chosen. But about 5-6 years before that, the BBC had got rid of it.
Yeah.
They'd shown it for 20 odd years since the 60s. 89, they got rid of it. 90, around 94, 95, just before I did it, these rumours began to go round that it was going to come back. I was living in London, and everyone heard the rumours. Eric Idle's going to come. They're going to come back, and he's going to play it. It's going to go to America. They're going to do it in America. What else did we hear? Rowan Atkinson's going to be the Doctor. Stuff you could sort of. You think, oh yeah, I get that, right? And the rumours are just rumours. But
makes logical sense.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, you can see Rowan Atkinson doing it or whatever. And then when it eventually did happen the year after, and everyone, we all went up for it. Like you get sent pages, you go and do an audition. I went, Mark went as well. Next thing, like they want me to do it, and I was a bit nonplussed at first because I'm going, well, hang on, I'm not Rowan Atkinson, kid. I don't do the last Doctor who, when they got rid of it, was McCoy, Sylvester McCoy, and in a way he's a little bit like that. He's a brilliant. He's like sight gags. He's a clown.
Yeah.
He's a physical actor.
Yeah.
All the stuff that I didn't think that I was. I don't do that. He's a comedian. He's brilliant. And so now the fellas go, no, we want you to do it. And I'm going, well, I know. So it took him a few months to wear me down, actually. So that's how I got involved in it.
Did you feel the pressure of the role? Did that come into your thinking just because it was Doctor Who?
Well, but the weird pressure was that the idea was going to be that they were going to try and get it off the ground in the States.
Yeah.
So we were going to go over to North America, shoot it in North America for a North American audience, or at least to try and find this audience that this producer was convinced existed. And I'm going, well, okay, good luck with that. Like now it seems mad saying it now because that's where it is.
It's blew up in America now.
It's gone massive in America. But at that time, like, it wasn't quite there. As it turned out, we made this pilot, and it never went to a series anyway because they couldn't find enough people to watch the pilot. That's how it worked. So I was like, and they just said, well, goodbye. So, and even then, there was another 9-10 years before
the reboot, which was
reboot. Yeah, so I was
20 years ago this week.
In like what the fans now call the wilderness years.
Was there any conversation? I just want to get from the horse's mouth. Was there any conversation between you and the BBC when they were rebooting that? And obviously they came back with Christopher Eccleston. Was there any conversation about bringing you in to reboot it?
No. I was a bit. I didn't know what to expect. I thought, well, what did he do now? It's like, once I heard that it was going, and it wasn't going to be me, it was going to be Chris, I thought, well, that means like now I'm going to have to do with Chris what McCoy did with me.
Yeah.
It's like shoot a regeneration scene, because like that's the tradition. So I'm going, all right, well, I suppose the phone's going to ring at some point, and it didn't. So I thought, okay, well, showbiz.
Yeah.
And like what actors do when you don't see them, it's like they sit staring out of a window waiting for a phone to ring. That's generally what we do. And the phone didn't ring, so then it passed. So then I was convinced. I thought all my suspicions actually were confirmed. Yeah, I'm gonna go the way of Peter Cushing. He's the other Doctor they don't talk about, right? In the 60s, Cushing made a couple of movies of the Doctor with the Daleks.
It's true.
They won't even talk about him. He's like persona non grata. He hasn't even got a number. Like I'm Dr. 8.
Yeah. Eighth incarnation, yeah.
No, they won't. If you talk about Peter Cushing, they all go, la 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 like that. I thought, well, I've gone that way. Like they don't even want to talk about it. I was wrong about that because it took a while, but
I believe I believe as a Whovian, the fan base had a big say because we want to see more of your Doctor.
As well, I didn't realise, and I've never to this day even met him or spoken with him. Russell T Davies himself was going, actually, no, that thing that they did in Vancouver with McGann in it, that's really important. So he was like, he championed it.
Yeah.
He said, without that, we wouldn't even be back here
Well,
doing
I want
this.
to touch on that because I did rewatch it earlier this week, and some of the things we now take in commonplace in Doctor Who in the series, the way they're written, you did first in your, well, we call it the Doctor Who movie, but in that pilot. Do you feel a little bit like...
Well, again, it was not to do with me. When we shot it, when we went out to do it, I was thinking, well, do I get a say in any of it? I mean, even just like an artistic say in any of it. And not really, because literally, no, we've only got 6 weeks. You've got to wear this, and this. We've got to get this iconic and that and that in, because we're trying to attract this American audience. So it was really strict. Most pilots are like that.
Yeah.
They're trying to cram something, like they overfill it with stuff that most pilots look awkward anyway, whatever it is. And that was no exception.
Well, you're still getting used to the role while playing it during that time period.
Like I turned up, I'd done this. I'd come from some other job. I played this soldier boy, and I had really short hair. I said, well, why we can do what we like, because the BBC got rid of it. We can just start anew. And he's going, no. So no, I'm going to. He said, your hair looks great, but it's no good for us. So they put a wig on my head. But that's a wig. I'm going, oh no, don't do it. So no, you're going to wear this coat, you're going to wear this wig, and we're going to do this kind of. So it was really strict. But anyway, like going back to Russell T, unbeknownst to me, Russell T is saying, no, that thing, we're going to call Chris's doctor the ninth Doctor. That was Russell's. Yeah. That was Russell's decision. So I made it into the pantheon.
The pantheon, and well deserved. Well deserved as well.
But it took ages. Like when I was already doing them Big Finish things by then. I'd already been doing them 3 or 4 years. So I was coming to these shows every now and again with photographs. And like some of these shows, you see like these composite photographs with all the Doctors on them. But early on in 2001 and 2 and 3, like I wasn't even on them. I was like, I was like that kid, the kid who misses his school photograph, because he had the flu. And then you got to superimpose him on the photo in a little cloud, a little bubble. So I've got these old photos and I'm not on them. And then suddenly, like over the next 5 years, I'm on them and then I'm sneaking into them. And now there's like, I'm right in the middle.
Yeah.
So, but it took ages. But anyway, that's been the story of it. And even now, like, fans can't quite believe it. It's nearly 30 years now since I first did that pilot.
That is crazy.
I've done hundreds now of the audios. I've been on the screen for under 2 hours.
Which is crazy when you think about it.
I did that. I did a 6-minute thing that Moffat did.
I was going to
50th.
I was going to come to that.
And I was in Jodie's last episode for 5 minutes. But that's still, it doesn't even come to 2 hours.
I just want to touch on the 50th, because obviously you mentioned it before, what Sylvester McCoy did for you. Getting the chance to do that regeneration scene, what did that mean to you? Because as a fan, that meant a lot to us, because we never seen.
I was made up because, it was going to be what it was. Obviously, that was for the 50th. It was going to be this red button thing that was going to go out with all the other stuff on the 50th, the big film with Tennant in, and you have that as well, kind of thing. But by a kind of weird and happy accident, I know because it happened on my birthday, which is the week before it should have gone out. Moffat got in touch and said, "Look, someone's going to leak this. I've just found out someone's got it on a hard drive, and they're going to leak it today." He said, "So I'm going to put it out now. Happy birthday," he said to me. Like,
great birthday present.
Yeah, 11 o'clock in the morning. I'm going, oh, cheers, Stephen. So it goes out. And it had like a week and a bit to itself. Yeah. It went out like 9 days. So it got like millions of YouTube hits. And so it became like a cause celeb. So it was like a shot in the arm. It really gave, that was the biggest thing to happen to the 8th Doctor. And people loved it. So, and it was on screen, so I was back. But I'd love to do more. I'm just saying.
I think we would love to see you more in the role as well on screen, obviously.
It's really up to Russell at the moment. And I'm no word of a lie, I have never even been in the same room as the fella. I don't know him. Apparently the way he does it, according to Nick Briggs, is your mobile phone will ring. And this voice on the other end goes, "Fancy lunch?" and it's him.
Yeah, I've heard a similar story
Yeah.
of when Jodie was announced.
Yeah,
And
come to lunch and that. So I'm just saying.
yeah,
Fingers crossed. One day my phone will ring and it'll be Russell going, "Do you want to try this? Should we try that?"
I'd love to see your doctor do a Christmas
You would.
episode.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
And what's more, I'd drop everything and go and do it. I think he'd be silly not to, wouldn't he? Really?
Yeah, it has to happen because I feel like your doctor has also been crucial in the audios. I feel like you were the first one to really, embody it, and now we get a lot of the doctors doing them. For you to see what Big Finish has turned into, you must take tremendous pride in that because you was one of the first people and characters and doctors to do it.
I think so. I mean, the audios are a real feather in Big Finish's cap, and the BBC really love. It was always under the aegis of the Beeb, obviously, and it's worked. It's just worked. And the big thing to happen, really, as I remember, talking about the 50th, 10 years ago, we went to. So when that thing went out, that Night of the Doctor thing, and the big 50th stuff happened, there was a show in Chicago, Chicago TARDIS, happens in November, so we went to the week after the 50th. And I can distinctly remember that the American audience, it was like the penny dropping about the audios. It was like, for the first time, they were going, hang on a minute, what, you can get it on audio, on radio.
Yeah.
But downloads must have been like a new big thing then. But once the penny had dropped with the American audience, because don't forget, these are people that they think nothing of a 6-hour drive in their car.
Which is crazy to me. I get sick just going in the car for an hour.
Or they don't mind spending like 6 hours drive. A lot of them, it took me 8 hours to get in the car. That's a box set. And suddenly they were going, oh, hang on a minute. So that, they were making the connection, and as soon as that happened, the Big Finish just went boom. And Big Finish, well, it's simple. The more they buy, the more we make. It's just, that's how it's always been. And that's it. Just ever since then, it's been boom time. Mostly for the first 10 years, we were meeting to do Big Finish, and I've done loads. We might meet maybe twice a year, maybe once every 4 months. Now it's every 4 weeks.
Wow.
Right.
Wow, I wasn't expecting that, to be fair.
Now it's boom time.
Yeah.
Everyone's doing them.
Yeah.
Which, of course, is not just for the actors, it's the writers and everyone else involved. And it's like it's gone through the roof for everybody.
Quick question about it. What's the creative process? Do you get a lot in like saying, like, creative for yourself? Like, if you want to change
small
something?
ways, sometimes in small, crucial ways. They won't mind me telling you, but down the years they've said, we've got to change companions for different reasons. Is there anyone you can, is there someone that's how Sheridan
like,
got involved. Yeah, any chance we can get, like, I love that Hattie Morahan, any chance of, that's how, so down the year, Nicola Walker, people are like, get them in, and that's, and actors love doing them because they've all heard it's a great gig anyway. So in those ways, and you mentioned, and also like we've literally had. It's like sometimes the producers will go, "What era do you want to go back to when we, is there anything,
is there any time period you want to go to?"
I mean, I'm 66, right? So in the early 70s, that's when I was like 13, 14. Glam rock was, I was like 12, 13, 14. That there's literally an audio adventure. The horror of glam rock. They said, where do you want to go back to? Right, we're going back to the 1973, right, kind of thing. So from now and again, in answer to your question, there's times when literally they say, well, what do you want?
You get to pick the exact
doing? Like, where do you want to go back to? Kind of.
That's amazing. And just a quick, I just want to mention on something you said in your main stage chat today. Obviously, you've got a lot of family who are writers, but if you could be in Russell T Davies' seat right now, being the head writer of Doctor Who would you have as the next Doctor?
Oh, I don't know. That's a question. And maybe they'll. And again, it might be another woman.
I think Jodie done great.
Yeah, I think she was brilliant.
I absolutely love Jodie.
She's brilliant. Like from the first 5 minutes of the first episode, like you were going, "That's it. That's it."
Yeah,
that's all the actors went. That's it. That's how you do it. Confident, bang on, like straight in, believable, like completely like into it. You just hit the ground running like that. So I don't know the answer to that. I don't even hear any. I know Shooty. There's talk that Shooty's stopping, or
Yeah, I've heard rumours that. I don't know how true
I don't
it
know.
is.
Again, I don't
because
know.
obviously he's filmed seasons in advance.
Well, right. So so then there will be people thinking, on the other side of Shooty. Maybe people have already been. Maybe there's a shortlist already.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a tough one, isn't it? Because usually,
Well, I think recently, particularly Shooty and Jodie, what's been great about them is it's, how can I say it? Well, I'll have to say it just bluntly and baldly, because it's not some old white guy. There's been like another energy involved. I think it's probably, you need that, and maybe the next one as well.
it's captured a new audience as well.
Needs to be somebody young, a young actor. Young actors at the moment, I can tell you as an older actor, this generation that have come through in the last 5-10 years particularly, technically fucking brilliant. They're like, but they're brilliant in ways like they're like American actors. I'm talking about the British ones coming through. They're like as confident and as rounded and as like Quicksilver as American. We've always got you like Brits on film, particularly. We've been good on stage. Americans think that about us. I say they're slightly behind us when it comes to stage acting, but with the film actors. And now, but these young British actors now are coming onto the telly, are able just to do everything. They're like they're rounded. They can do the lot. They're triple threats. You know what I mean? So you need another one of them. You need somebody like Shooty can do it.
Yeah.
Every kind of style, even if it breaks into a song or a dance, they're like
They can do it.
they can do that. Like we were saying before, like
It's that
the
versatility.
consideration 30 years ago. Like I was saying, well, can he be like McCoy? Can he just do a few sight gags? Can he be a clown or a comedian? Now that's all changed. Now it has to be someone that is like, not only is a believable alien, which is what the Doctor is.
Yeah.
And
I feel like a lot of people forget that.
I'm just saying, right? You know what I mean? I'm just saying, it ain't a human. So it's got that other worldliness to it, but also at every speed you choose, and no matter how weird it gets. Remember those lovely episodes, in Shooty's first episode, with what's her name, like that singer, that 6 foot tall trans character. When it goes nice and weird like that.
Yeah. And it's just coming out with the piano and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the Doctor can just go with it.
Yeah.
You need really confident, multifaceted. Helps if they're beautiful, like Shooty's beautiful, Jodie's beautiful. Doesn't matter if they're not, but so long as they're able just dynamically are able to just like do the whole thing. You know what? I'm talking as an actor now.
Yeah.
Shooty can even keep still and still do it. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
These are really, really, really technically superb actors. You need to be that good to do it now, I think.
And
in answer to your question.
just to wrap it up, because I know you'll have people coming over in a little minute. I want you to enjoy your coffee. A little message for those who maybe not being able to make it today to MegaCon live in Birmingham. A little message to them, and if you could, just a nice little message to them.
Well, even the ones who couldn't make it, there'll be another one of these anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe see you next year, but there's different shows and good ones like these actually dotted around. MegaCon's great because they look after you, and it's a really friendly vibe.
It's a community vibe, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's important.
Yeah.
And like everyone's welcome, as you can see. And the real spirit of it actually is going on behind this thing here. It's the cosplayers, it's the costume people. That for me, it's always been. It's been about them, because like us, they're just big soft kids who just love dressing up.
Yeah, I still haven't grew up. Never will. And one last question.
There's always one last question.
there is. There was. Well,
And then there was one after the last question.
Yeah, full circle. What's that one thing you miss about Liverpool? Is there a favourite food spot or something like that?
Food spot. I miss the Casa as it used to be. I miss the Casa when it. Yeah, I missed because I walked past it. So I'll be there next week. It's my mum's. My mum's got a big birthday next week. We're all up. I miss little, but then I haven't lived in Liverpool since the 70s. So when I realise now that I'm missing a completely other, like an old days Liverpool. Although when my family's still there,
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
I know, yeah. I just finished this brilliant book about Liverpool, actually, written by a guy called Wetherell. And it's a brilliant, what have I got it with me? It's called it's Liverpool and the Unmaking of Britain. It's the best history of Liverpool I've read for years. I can highly recommend it.
I'll give that a little mention.
Yeah. But it goes like right through the 20th century. And he reminds us that there were nearly 1 million people in Liverpool. Even when I was living there, it's happened so quick. When I was going to school in Liverpool, and even there was still 950,000 people in the city, and I can remember those days when it was still like madly crowded. There's less than half of that population now, and half of that population is students. On most days, where is everybody? Now, when I go back to Liverpool, like most people who,
Scousers are everywhere. To be fair,
well, they've all gone. But like we're used to thinking, aren't we, that everywhere only gets more crowded? But there's some places, like our city's one of them, and it's a major city that has lost half its people. Like Ireland's lost half of its population. Some places, I know Sheffield's the same, Leeds is the same, bits of Manchester. That those great northern cities have lost their people. They've gone. So it's got this weird kind of ghostly vibe to it.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm walking around Liverpool, which I'm always going up anyway. Yeah. If not just for the football, but it does hit me every now and again. It's like, where is everybody?
Yeah.
Where it's like it's still quite ghostly. I haven't quite come to terms with the way that it's shed its people. There's a diaspora of Scousers elsewhere. They've all gone elsewhere. I suppose now
we go on holiday and yeah.
Are you still in Liverpool? Are you still?
Yeah, I'm still in Liverpool, back and forth. But yeah,
when you're not, you know what I mean. And so you join that Scouse diaspora. It's weird.
Hopefully, I love living in Liverpool. It's amazing.
Well, no, our Joe's gone back. My son now lives in Liverpool. I know he was brought up in Bristol, but he lives in Liverpool.
Has he got the Scouse accent now?
He's bilingual. He can do it.
Can he do it?
Yeah. When in an emergency, he can do it. Right. I've heard it as well. He's good. And my mum's there. She's gone back. So there's a kind of reverse migration going on in our house. So maybe this will be, if a few more families do what we did, then maybe the population will go back up again.
Yeah, it'll be full circle moment.
20 years time, back up to 1 million.
Paul, it's been fantastic to speak to you, bud.
You too.
Thank you.